Hey guys, hope you're all doing well out there today. Welcome back to the channel if you've been here before. If not, welcome for the first time. My name's Leigh Fuge and today I'm going to be talking about something a little different from my usual style of demo. Today I'm going to be talking about the ENGL POWERBALL Pedal. For anyone out there who's seen any of my videos before, you'll know that predominantly I'm more of a low to mid gain kind of guy. I play a lot of bluesy based music and classic rock. I don't tend to go too far into the heavier spectrum of things. But this August at the 42 Gear Street event at Henning Pauli's house, the guys at ENGL approached me and asked if I'd be interested in doing a demo of the new Powerball pedal. I thought this would be a really interesting opportunity to try something that's slightly outside of my comfort zone, but also to approach a product from a completely different angle. Most of the players that will pick one of these up are probably going to be looking for a higher gain sort of metal sound. Now obviously I don't tend to play much of that stuff, but I definitely thought it'd be interesting to see if this pedal can do a lot more. And I spent a bit of time speaking to the guys at ENGL about the idea that ENGL shouldn't just be categorized as a metal brand. Now I know a lot of metal players lean towards their products, but I'm going to prove today that the ENGL stuff is very versatile. Or at least I hope to prove that. So this is the Powerball. This is from the ENGL Custom Pedal Series. This is the EP645 if you want the product number as well. It's a great distortion pedal with a 3-band active EQ, a gain and a volume control. It does what it says in the tin, and it's really robust. The casing is very solid, and you just know that if you took this out on tour, it would live up to night after night of use. The pedal is all analog and it's actually based off the lead channel of the Powerball 2 amp. So it's got a very amp-like characteristic. It's got a really fat distortion sound and it actually responds very much like a real amp would. So on the front of it we've got the volume, the gain, we've also got this 3-band EQ here, bass, middle and treble. The cool thing about the EQ is it's completely active. So that means the bass, middle and treble controls don't work in a linear fashion, so when it's down it's all the way down. The actual center point is the neutral position, and from there you can cut or boost each of the frequencies plus or minus 7.5 dB. So this is really great for really fine tuning your tone. So to kick things off, I'm going to be using my Shergold Provocateur. This is a single cut guitar with a humbucker in the bridge and a P90 in the neck. Obviously it's very classic leaning, it's not a heavy rock guitar at all. It's perfect for playing classic rock and blues. I plugged it into the Blackstar Studio 10 6R6, which is running on the clean channel. The amp is mic'd up with a Lewitt Audio LCT 440 condenser mic, and the reverb you're hearing is coming from the JPTR FX Kaleidoscope. This is the craziest reverb pedal around because it's a reverb with a fuzz built in, but I've got it set very subtly just to get a nice spring reverb style sound. So before we kick the ENGL on, here is the clean tone of the amp. Okay, so now over to the ENGL Powerball. So you can see here I've got the EQ set straight up the middle. I've got the level just above halfway because that's about where unity is, and I've got the gain pretty much a fraction above 0. So let's see how this sounds on a very low gain setting. So I actually really like that sound. That's a nice low gain drive sound. Now I'm going to play about with the EQ here. So I'm going to boost the mids and the highs a little bit and cut the bass. See how that sounds. Pretty cool. Now when I use active EQs, I really like to see how extreme the bands go. So I'm going to turn everything all the way down. So we're cutting all 3 frequencies by 7.5 dB. That's quite interesting because that almost has that sort of broken radio or telephone kind of sound. Now let's turn the active EQ all the way up. So we're boosting all three frequencies now by 7.5 dB. Okay, so far that actually sounds great. I really like the bite of the pedal. It doesn't sound like a super saturated metal pedal at this stage. So I'm just going to dial the EQ back a little bit. I really like the sound of it on full though, but I'm going to push the gain up now to just below halfway. So here's where we should hear things getting a little hairier. Pretty cool. Now let's crank that gain a little bit more. This is sort of in the upper end now of where I'm starting to get a little uncomfortable with the amount of gain on offer. Okay, now let's see all the way up. Maximum gain. So even on full gain, it actually isn't too overbearing. I'm going to switch guitar now to something that may be a little bit more suited to this kind of pedal. So now I've got my Jackson Adrian Smith signature model. Even though I did say I'm predominantly not a metal player, I did grow up with Iron Maiden as my favourite band. So this is the guitar that had to find its way to my collection sooner or later. This is a little bit more suited for some of the higher gain stuff. So let's dial this back now to sort of just below halfway. I'm going to push the mids a little bit more, maybe give the top end a little higher boost. Now let's go a bit higher on the gain. Pretty cool. Now let's go all the way with that gain. That's pretty fun. The EQ is really cool on this. I love the active EQ. So let's see what it sounds like. Full gain with all three frequency bands boosted 7.5 dB. I have to say, for someone who is not a high gain player, this pedal sounds awesome. Now, one more thing before we wrap up. Let's see how this sounds on low gain with a neck single coil. looks like all my preconceptions about ENGL were completely wrong, and I'm happy to say that. I went into this expecting this to be a super saturated, high gain, heavy metal machine, and honestly, I'm blown away. This thing sounds awesome. What do you guys out there think? Let me know down below in the comments. Do you think the ENGL Powerball pedal is a great versatile pedal, or do you think it's just good for heavy music? Personally, I do think this is super versatile, and like I said, I'm happy to admit that I was wrong with my preconceptions about ENGL as a brand. I always thought they were just high gain, heavy stuff, but honestly, between this pedal and one of the amps the guys at ENGL got me to try at the 42 Gear Street event, I think I'm definitely converted in my way of thinking. ENGL are a great company and they make some awesome products, and I can't wait to see what else they've got in store. I just want to say a huge thank you to Marty and Jurgen at ENGL. Thank you guys for setting me up with the pedal, and thank you guys for talking me into trying it out. I think it's a great pedal, and I'm really pleased that I did actually try this out. It's really changed my perceptions on ENGL as a company. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know down below in the comments what you thought of the pedal. Like I said, let's have a good discussion about this. What did you think of the ENGL Powerball? I think it definitely sounds great, and it does have that amp-like feel, so I think they've definitely ticked a lot of boxes here. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Your subscriptions really help this channel to grow, so please give that button a smash if you haven't already done so. And if you know anyone who might be interested in this pedal, please share this video with them and bring them along to this guitar party as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.